So what building a second brain is all about is think about all the information that you've consumed today, the emails that you've read, maybe the podcast that you listened to on your way over here, the Twitter feed that you looked at while you were still in bed this morning, with the sun shining through your window, you just didn't want to get up on this Monday. Think about all that information you consume and all the work that you actually do, all the attention that you burn when you do consume information. Well, what happens to it? When you were listening to that podcast, the great thing that inspired you from it, that nugget of insight, well, where's it saved? Do you have it with you? If I were to say, hey, there's a great quote, where can you save that quote? Do we have that? How about the article that you read this morning? If I were to say, what's your favorite quote from that, your favorite statistic? Do you have that today? Will you have that 3 months from now? 1 year from now? 5 years from now? Well, for most people, the answer is no. One thing I've been doing is I've been going back into the work of the computer pioneers from 1945, 1950, 1955, those years, and I was reading a speech by a guy named Vannevar Bush. Vannevar Bush was very active with the US military during World War II, and he wrote a speech called As We May Think. And what's amazing, it's been 85 years, and Vannevar Bush's ideas still haven't been implemented. It is wild to me that we have made so much progress. We've gone to the moon, we have used energy to transform this planet, we have taken billions of people out of poverty, but you know what? We have smartphones in our pockets that have more computing power than we needed to send a rocket to the moon, and they're not making us any smarter. And what Tiago and I fundamentally believe with building a second brain is that the computers in our pockets can make us not 20, not 50, not 100, but multi-hundred IQ points smarter. And that's what we're gathering here for today. We want to help all of you understand the amazing sensations, these life-transforming benefits of having a second brain in your pocket. Because the most important thing that Tiago taught me is that right now we depend on our first brain for being creative and remembering things. But what we should be doing is we should be offloading our memory to computers, and our first brain should be thinking tools. And by having these two brains, we don't forget anything, and all of a sudden we have these amazing smartphones in our pockets, and we can use them to do amazing work.
Very well said. Really well said. So I want to give you a little bit of context for tonight. Excuse me. So what are we here to accomplish? Why are we here? As we've said now many times, we have these two courses that we really think are changing how people relate to information. But we have a challenge, which is they take some investment up front, right? As you might imagine, building a second brain takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of upfront effort. As does learning to write, right? Building an audience, building a blog, all these things, they have this huge upside, but kind of this long takeoff. And so many people, especially some of the busiest, smartest, most successful people in the world that could most benefit from this, who have the most interesting ideas and experience to share, can't get over that hump. They can't actually get to that takeoff. So tonight what we want to try to do is see if we can compress basically 2 months-long courses into a single evening. It's a huge feat of compression. We're big fans of compression, as you'll see. Excuse me. And really what we want to show you is what does it feel like to already have all this? What does it feel like to have a second brain? What does it feel like to have like a personal knowledge library of all your best ideas and insights and sources at your fingertips? What does it feel like to have a place and a method for writing that you can just consistently publish really world-class writing without writer's block, without anxiety, without stress? Like, what would it feel like if we could fast forward 8 weeks into the future and all the effort that entails and see if we can capture that experience? And that's what we're doing here tonight.
That's exactly right. One thing to build on that is we want to demystify the creative process. If you look at the root of the word genius, what does it come from? Genie. As in there is a genie that floats into your body, and all of a sudden this creative magic arises. And if you think about the way that we talk about creativity, the way that we talk about artistry, what do we think of? We think of the tortured artist, The artist who just cannot figure out how to get anything in their life together, and all of their pain and the toil, the anger and the sadness is all in service of creativity. But we want to shift your perspective on that. We believe that by being organized and by building a system, creativity can be cultivated. And that actually being more organized with the right system will make you much more creative. Just to show of hands, how many of you, when you start to work on something, how many of you have some kind of note-taking system that you're proud of that you can actually draw from? Let's raise them higher. Okay, about half the room. Okay, so among all of you, for the people who do have that note-taking system, what we want to help you do is use all those notes and that abundance of information to actually produce something. And for all of you who don't have a note-taking system, we want you to have so much intellectual ammunition that you have too many things to create, not enough.
So this way of thinking is this kind of revolution in how you think about writing is encapsulated in this quote, which was kind of adapted, paraphrased, but it's basically writing is not that picture you think of actually just putting words on a page. That's just the most visible, tangible version of writing. What writing really is assembly. It's more like almost engineering. It's getting pieces that have been pre-formed, pre-validated, pre-tested, pre-digested, all these things, and then just putting them together. And the actual writing, the tapping of keys, the cursive on the paper is just the final step, and really the easiest step. And this is what people don't miss, is the engineering of writing. They see only the actual act, the final act. So this will be kind of our guiding philosophy for today. How do you go about assembling a piece of writing?
And I want to talk about what tonight is actually going to be like. So we're going to start with the end in mind. So the end goal of tonight, you're actually going to walk away with something. This isn't just about talking. We are here to create something. Everything that Tiago and I work on, it's not just theory. We want to help you actually make things and to be these prolific creators so that you can listen to that screaming voice within you that has ideas, that wants to make an impact on this world, that wants to be more productive, do more, and to get those ideas externalized into the world. And that's what we're going to do tonight. You're going to end with a short blog post on something that interests you. A short blog post on something that interests you. But tonight, what we're going to do is we're going to go through all these different stages of outlining, of conversation, of sorting through notes, do a little scavenger hunt in a couple minutes to try to find these amazing ideas so that we can simulate for you what it's like to have a second brain. Now, with that said, a fair warning, Tiago and I have designed this workshop so that at all moments you will probably feel like you don't have enough time. You will probably feel rushed, and you will probably feel this sense of angst and overwhelm that you just might not be able to do the best work possible. And you know what? All of that is intentional, because in life, we never have enough time. We're always under deadlines. And in these moments when the time is compressed, the stakes are the highest, that's when we need a really good system.
Yes. So this is what we'll be aiming towards. And when we say short blog post, that's sort of the container, that's the medium. But as you're going to see, it can look like many, many different things. So what you fill that container with, we're going to be taking you through this pretty systematic process. That's what you're here for. But we really are going to encourage you to put your own creativity into it, to fill in whatever ideas and inspirations and insights that come to mind into that container. Okay. So we're going to move through 3 stages tonight, which are gather, outline, and write. And these are kind of like a feedback cycle, the cycle that we go through again and again and faster until something just shoots out of it, kind of. And we're going to do about 3 of these cycles tonight with very specific prompts for each one, so you can just kind of focus on one thing at a time. Was there anything you wanted to say about this?
Yeah, so the first big thing is, well, let's just talk about the first exercise. So the first thing that all of you are going to do now is on most of these tables, we have placed note cards. So what I did this morning was I spent 20 minutes, and I went through my second brain, and I just found some interesting notes that I thought would inspire ideas. And right now, all you're going to look for is just a seed of an idea. You're going to look at the note card pile closest to you. Look for an idea that resonates with you. Okay, what does resonate mean? Think of, okay, I see this idea. Does my heart rate go up? Do my eyes go a little bit wider? Do I maybe get a little bit more excited? Do I feel more awake, like this splash of cold water? Don't do it just yet. And you're going to look for this seed. We're going to give you 2, 3, 4 minutes. And once you have this seed of an idea, that seed will be the foundation from which the flower that you begin to water for the rest of this night actually blossoms from. So turn to the people next to you real quick, and I want everyone to shake the hands of everyone who they can actually touch right now. Shake their hands, introduce yourself.